Hey friends, hey moms, how are you? So I get this asked sometimes, well, oftentimes, why are my kids so behaved when we go to restaurants? Well, the great thing is this started way back when they were still in bucket seats. We had more time, obviously with our first one, we're so there and we're in the moment. I also was reading a book called The Baby Whisperers, and one of the lines that stood out to me was not changing your whole life completely because you have a baby. Now that made sense to me because mama likes to go to eat at restaurants too, and likes to have coffee. And I wasn't about to completely stop all of that because I had a baby. It didn't make any sense. What I would do, and what we continue doing since then, be prepared. Now I'm going to show you what we started with. So on mat leave, we're constantly on our own. We go to mom groups, we go to mom and baby yoga or fitness classes. Well, I also like to go to restaurants. And the thing that we've always said, my husband and I, was if anything was going on with the baby, cranky, or if they were just upset or they weren't feeding, or we were constantly getting interrupted or even disrupting other people in the restaurant, because they do have a right to be eating there also, it was a quick exit plan. And that was pretty much pay the bill, get everything together, and we were out, and no harm, no foul. We tried, and it wasn't a good day, and that's okay. So as my baby grew and now was becoming more of an observer and able to interact a little bit more, I'm talking about before a year old, I would bring him to the restaurant with me, and I would start bringing things from my bag. If I had nothing for him to play with, treat for mom just in case, I would pop this out. He enjoyed observing things and touching things, crinkly papers, all those toys and those things that they have for babies now with textures and sounds. Well, I didn't have those. They were out there. I just quick on my feet thinking, this kid would play with this for a good 20 minutes, half an hour. When he got bored of this, and I knew it, we'd go on to the next thing. Now, one day I had all the toys laid out. What did my son play with? Plastic cups, like the crinkly ones that you toss out. He loved those. So, bought a sleeve, and that was the toy that we brought to at the restaurant. He'd eventually play with the creamers, and when he got bored of that, we'd go on to sugar or tea bags. And anything like that he would play with and suck on, and he was wonderful. As he started getting older, I would bring a pen and a paper with me. And it wasn't this big, it was actually a lot smaller, and I would start drawing. Simple things, balloons, stars, circle, simple things. Even if you're not a great artist or great at drawing, you can certainly draw a circle and say this is a circle. You can draw a square, a house, an apple, something. It's communicating, it's teaching your kid, it's doing something with them and being present with them. So as they grew older, getting to restaurants. So we always yell out, okay, we're going to a restaurant, bring your restaurant bag. What does that consist of? Well, nowadays, restaurants have everything equipped for you, especially the ones that are super kid friendly. They will have markers, they will have crayons for you, and you can either draw on the paper, on the placemats, or you can draw on the table with the paper on it. That's great. Eventually, the crayons weren't that great of a selection. Everything was brown or blue and purple. We ended up bringing our own bags. This, I believe, is still the same one from back in the day. So this bag is about 8 years old. Still good. Now, my kids are getting older and they are becoming more independent. They have their own likes and personal tastes. So each person would carry their own restaurant bag. Now this is just a simple Ziploc bag. We had their names written on it. They would write it themselves, or you'd label it if you want to. You can get as simple as a Ziploc bag, or you can go all fancy and have a bag like this. We would also include in them a magazine if they wanted, paper, extra paper, or go full out and start drawing on old notebooks. So the benefits of all of this, well, it gets the kids off the devices. What's also a great life skill we have here, responsibility. Because at the end of our restaurant experience, it's time to clean up your stuff, and you are responsible for taking what you brought into the restaurant. Anything that's left, it's gone. Also, it all starts at the very beginning with touching to this learning an important life skill. One of many important life skills, communication. How to communicate effectively, clearly, get them to be decisive and own what they want. And also that independence that, you know what, they can figure things out for themselves and say what they want to another person who's not their parent. How cool is that? From organization to independence. Another benefit for you, express yourself creatively. How awesome is that? It's also a mindset shift from I can't draw to I will try to draw. Aren't you setting a great example for your kid by just trying? Thumbs up for parenthood because of organization. So that's it for today. I hope you liked it. Please share the videos that you find are great and inspiring for other people, or save them because they're just so great. But as usual, I would love to hear from you. If there's any comments or questions that you have, put them down below. Send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook. And don't forget, we are also on YouTube. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.